What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world? And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Good evening, everybody. I am Love Coach Scott Catamas, and welcome to the Awakening World. You know, during the opening song, I love seeing those of you that are singing along to it. That always makes me really happy. So thank you, Bobby, and the rest of you that were singing along to it. And a big welcome to all of our friends that are in the Zoom room still coming in. We have a really beautiful show tonight, all about our angelic energies, how to connect to the angelic realm, how to listen. And we've got several people that really bring a wide variety of experiences to that. So it's going to be a wonderful show. We also have great music tonight. Of course, our beloved brother Omashar is with us. We also have a wonderful duo for Fader, and then Vox Angelus, who what she provides is beyond music. It's a sound experience that is going to happen just in a few minutes. I want to welcome those of you who are watching at some of the other platforms. We go out to as many as 175 Facebook groups and pages. Thank you, John and Summer Raymer and the Sign Network for doing that. We also are on several YouTube channels. We're on broadcast partners. So a lot of you are watching us that way, and that's awesome. And I want to invite you, come and join us. Come on into the Global Peace Tribe. It's really easy to join. Just go to globalpeacetribe.com, globalpeacetribe.com, and you'll be on our website. You can learn all about the different shows that we do, and click where it says register for the new season. And by registering, you're going to get the links so you can come into the Zoom room on all of our shows, and we do 3 or 4 shows every week with all these amazing people that you're seeing on the poster. Wonderful, inspired musical artists, presenters. Some of them are very famous. Some of them are the next generation of wisdom keepers. And you're going to hear a lot of wonderful next generation people in today's show and also tomorrow's show. And so, for example, this is this week's lineup on Wednesday night. We had a really good show. What makes sex sacred? And if you missed that, definitely go back and watch the replay. How do you do that? You join the Global Peace Tribe and you get an email that sends you all the replays of our previous shows. This is the show we're doing tonight. Look at all the beautiful people that are part of this. And then tomorrow, it's all about mentorship of the next generation of leaders from all over the world. We've got people either from Pakistan and India, Nepal, Palestine, or they've been there as mentors. It's going to be a very, very beautiful show. So join the Global Peace Tribe, and you get to then come on into the Zoom room, and that's where the action is. That's where there's a lot of conversation, a lot of chat, and we put a lot of important links into all the different websites, all the different programs, all the different projects. And believe me, there's going to be a lot today because I've got the fabulous Tanjila as my co-host. And of course, Tanjila, no, that's not Tanjila. There's Tanjila. It's funny, I clicked on you, but Omashar came up for a moment on my screen. I don't know if that's what happened for everybody else. But Tanjila is amazing. She is who created SoulSearch, which is your guide to healers and events and psychic fairs and all things magical and mystical. And she's invited some of her favorite people tonight. Welcome, Tanjila.
Thank you so much, Scott. It's such a beautiful blessing to be here with you and Omashar and our amazing Global Peace Tribe family. I always love sharing this space with all of you and also bringing in our incredible healers, practitioners, artists, musicians to really share together.
Absolutely. And you had a vision, which is how the show evolved, of how to support people with their angels. So while you're drinking your water, just so people know who's with us. We've got Charlie Lamson is with us. Charlie has, I traveled with Charlie. I had a great time. We drove from Sedona to the Bay Area together, and I got to know this guy's story. It's an incredible story. He's very tapped in. So great to have Charlie with us. And kind of our keynote speaker is Asil, and this man is taking the world by storm. Everywhere I look, he's on Unify, he's on SoulSearch. Tonight he's with us, which is great. And so it's wonderful to have you with us, Asil.
Good to be here, Scott. Thank you.
He's our keynote speaker. And how could we have a show on angels without having Joan of Angels with us? She's a longtime friend of mine who I've known for many, many years. And so wait until you hear her story and her wisdom. And another wonderful angel that we had to have on is one of my favorite people on the planet. This is Mandelyn Reese, also known as the street angel. She goes into places as large as baseball stadiums and football stadiums, carrying signs, encouraging people to be kind. She wears wings, and she is an inspiration. So we've got the street angel with us. And we always have great music. And tonight we are really happy to have an incredible duo. Stephanie, who you've seen on the show before, and her partner. And together they are for Fader, and they're going to do 2 numbers for us tonight. We also have the remarkable Vox Angelus, and she provides, well, it's more than music. She provides an incredible sound experience. So she's going to be with us tonight. And have I mentioned Peter Benson yet? I don't think so. We've got Peter Benson with us. He's a new friend, first time a virgin to the awakening world. So I'm really looking forward to meeting you, Peter. And of course, we have our co-pilot, our beloved brother, Omashar, who has grown wings just for this show. He has grown wings. So how you doing, Tanjila?
Wonderful. Thank you. I don't know. I was having a little bit of a moment there, but so thanks for taking the pilot seat. But no, this is going to be an amazing show. And it really came about because, you know, we have so many people at SoulSearch who come to us looking for spiritual guidance, support, both, you know, through the platform, through the psychic fairs. And a lot of people are always asking about angels, and they're, you know, asking about, you know, who are their angelic guides? How do I connect to my angelic guides? Are angels real? And, you know, I was like, you know, this is something that's really already in the consciousness. You know, people are, you know, people may not be aware their galactic family. They may not be aware of the multidimensional realms in all the different ways that we speak about and experience it all the time. But angels are very prevalent in our consciousness. And, you know, and more we have people coming to us, you know, looking to connect even further with their angels for guidance, for support. And we have all of these incredible, powerful healers who really help support our connection, you know, to the celestial realms and all the extra celestials out there. So I just thought, why don't we create a show around this where we can just hear from so many of our incredible teachers and guides on building and growing those connections, and also what it means for all of us and for humanity during this time, because they really are here with us in this moment and every moment.
And Tanjila, I really want to welcome your questions and your comments and your own experiences. I know a lot of the people in our audience have already had incredible experiences. So pop in the chat box your experiences, your stories of working with angelic energies, even miracles that have taken place in your life, and also any questions you have. And each presenter will have time to give a little homeopathic dose of their medicine, and then we're going to have a panel conversation at the end of the show, and that'll be where we'll be able to address a lot of your questions publicly. But you also can put questions in the chat box. So for example, you hear something from Peter, you want to know more, feel free to say, Peter, please tell me more about that experience. So this is going to be a very interactive show because we want all of us to expand our wings, right? Just like Omashar already has.
Definitely, definitely. And just we're excited to have all of your comments, questions. I see Pam already writing in and saying that she wants to know that after last week's powerful show, she was inspired to seek support from Kalina. And so again, on Thursday, we had a very powerful interactive show. And, I know that we're going to have that again today. All of this is about our own healing and transformation and the transformation of humanity. And I just love that we're all doing this together. So excited to be here with everyone.
And we have a really beautiful way to start it. Many of you have already heard Vox Angelus because she's been on the show a couple of times. I just discovered her, I think maybe 2 months ago on an Alan Steinfeld show. And I think this is the 4th show I've had her on since, because I just love her energy. And I really invite everybody who's watching, whether you're in the Zoom room or at home or on YouTube or Facebook, stop anything else you're doing, close your eyes and drop in and really allow her vibration of her sound experience to lift you up. And Tanjila, what else would you like the audience to know about Vox Angelus?
Well, Vox Angelus, Phyllis Ann Douglas, she is a pure conduit for the Elohim, and she's known as the voice of the angel. And through her energy, frequency, and vibration, she really creates multidimensional pathways and access points for all of us. And she calls this the path of the undoing. And when people hear Phyllis speak and sing in the angelical Adamic language of light, these ancient codes and frequencies flow through her. And really, they're translated and assimilated on an energetic, cellular, and DNA level for all of us. So this is a really powerful experience that she's bringing forth. She has always been surrounded by angels since she was a little girl. And she, sings, speaks, writes, and transmits the frequency encoded language of the Elohim. So we're really excited to have her here with us. And, she'll be chatting with us a little bit afterwards about all she has to offer and she's bringing forth. But we're just so excited to have you here with us today, Vox. Thank you.
And Vox, before you provide your experience, go ahead and tell our audience a little bit about what you do and how what this experience is that we're all about to have.
Okay. Well, I am a direct conduit for the consciousness of Elohim, and I have this connection that is very ancient and has been carried forward through lifetimes. And so what it is that I'm doing, I've been surrounded by angels, as Tanjila was saying, since I was a little girl. And they have always served as my guides, my teachers, my gatekeepers. And we have really we've really built this relationship through childhood because I've done all of this before. And so what I do is they send through these frequencies that, however, I translate them into what they call there's 2 different things. It's an angelical Adamic language of light, because what they've told me is that these frequencies are the first language. Okay. And they also like to call it the language of God's light as well. And so when those frequencies come through, then I'm able to translate them into sound, vocal sound. And sometimes people tell me, well, it sounds Native American, or it sounds like you're from Tibet, or whatever it is. And it's really interesting because sometimes it seems as if when that energy is coming through, when anybody is really channeling, often It's also picking up on your points of heritage, historically speaking. And so often a lot of the words that I sing or I speak sound like something. And for me, I think that that is really makes it more accessible sometimes to people as well, because they're really hearing, they're really listening. But that's really a little bit about what I do. So it is multidimensional. I am kind of entering another space of consciousness, but I'm still here, right? Um, and that's about it. I think Tanjila kind of covered a lot of it. I was like, oh no, what am I going to say?
All right, well, thank you so much for being with us again. Already I'm seeing people in the audience who are saying, I love Vox Angelus. Oh my God, I'm so glad she's here.
Oh,
So
thank you.
yeah, so take it away.
All right. Thank you. Okay. The transmission will begin.
Grandesia rasu koryam matreyam Uarere suram mandreri, urarare suram mandreri, urarare suram mandreri, randu suram, andrare risum, hore, mere sirieram, mondrorea, amborodrea, hindere, ungore sirieram, amare sureriam, ungore sirieram, umbore tu, andare siriam, ore humoriam, andare siriam, undre suram. Iramabakere sure motire hia andra suraro ngere amara hungare siria hungaro truye hare siriano ningirero truero tindero hungare rondro sera hungare suro seria hungare tire suram hungare sire tu orere siranandra su anehon gurere sirano turoriam Nutreriam, Kiremo tu esiriam motrandea, Putro suiam tramai scindero, Kiremo tu matriscerimon, The transmission is complete. Thank you, everyone.
Vox, it's always hard for me to talk after your experiences. And I do want to let people know, because this is just like a little homeopathic dose of your medicine. And you've got something very special happening this Sunday, tomorrow. Can you tell us a little bit about this vision quest with the Elohim tomorrow?
Yes, I'm doing a deep dive vision quest. And what they're doing is the medicine that will be available to everyone is actually going to be in what the Elohim is calling a sacred medicine symbol. So I'm going to, it's almost created, but I'm going to be emailing that out to everyone to have when they come to the event. So that will be the medicine portion. And we will be opening people up to, whatever their intentions are. And we'll have a little time to kind of state those out loud if they wish. And then we will be working with that and taking everyone on a journey through self and self-realization, and to be able to transmute or transform the challenges that they are experiencing.
Beautiful. And there's still room available for people to register?
There is still room available. I do ask that people at least either do, if they want to register this evening or like tomorrow morning. So it just gives me time to get everything out to people that is needed.
Okay. And everybody, you'll find it on her website. Of course, I've put the link into the chat box. But for those of you watching on Facebook or YouTube, it's on her website. And her website is her name, which is phyllisdouglas.com. She spells it Phyllis, and then Douglas, Douglass, phyllisdouglas.com. But it's always best to come on into our Zoom room, because that way you can links much more easily. Vox, thank you for taking us to such a beautiful state, and just the perfect way to start this show. And of course, she'll be with us for our panel conversation.
Thank you.
Towards the end of the show. Thank you so much, Phyllis. Wow, Tanjila, what goes on for you when Vox is doing her magic?
I am just completely immersed in the multidimensional realms, just straight, pure source energy and light. Like really, she is able to just take us to that place with her tones and frequencies. It's really amazing to experience. I just felt like, and I felt the whole group resonating together and lifting, into these realms, which is just beautiful to feel that experience, all of us doing this together in community, which I love. So it was really powerful. And I see everyone commenting, the purity of tone and spot on pitch is transformative. What a beautiful gift. Thank you, from Dia. So yes, that was amazing. And also I did drop in the chat about Phyllis's book, One Journey to a New Way of Being, which is an angelically transmitted book that is a frequency-based alchemical technology to assist the awakening and ascension of humankind. And so you guys can check out her book. It's available on Amazon, and it is an angelical map for humankind, which is very appropriate for our show today. So thank you so much, Phyllis, for joining us and just bringing us into this beautiful energy and space for the show today.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Tanjila, we're going to maintain that energy because now it's time for our keynote speaker. Please tell us all about Asil.
Yes, I'm so excited to be introducing Asil Toksai. He is an incredible channeler of the angelic realms and the Elohim as well. And he receives and transmits transformational energies and spoken wisdom from higher and non-dual sources of consciousness. And he brings this energy and wisdom as an unconditional gift to support humanity's evolution. And he actually did an incredible transmission this morning, and he does them on a monthly basis that everyone can tune into on YouTube. And actually, Charlie and I just had the pleasure of taking Asil's Foundations course, which was an incredibly transformative and powerful experience, Asil. So we can go into that a little bit as well. But, Asil, he, for nearly 2 decades, he has been, seeking. He had a normal job before. He was very, successful. We actually did a great YouTube interview that I'll drop in the chat later if you want to hear more about his background, but he just wasn't fulfilled and wasn't happy. And so then he began the spiritual seeking process, which then through that process, his consciousness began opening up and these incredible energies started coming through. And now, with those energies, he does incredible trainings, courses, sacred site visits, massive gatherings with thousands of people joining in around the world and taking expeditions to really powerful energetic locations, including one coming up this summer in the Balkans. And because of his work, thousands of people have dedicated their lives to becoming pillars of life and living a life of greater alignment and service. And so Asil is a powerful, powerful channel, spiritual teacher and guide. And we're just so excited that he's joining us here today. So thank you, Asil, for being here with us, and excited to hear what you have to share.
Tanjila and Scott, thank you so much for having me here. And what an incredible introduction. Wow, I'm just blushing and getting all warmed up here. So thank you for that. It's truly a miraculous time in human existence. And it is an unprecedented time. Those old souls that we are, that have chosen to be human, are choosing to awaken at this point in time. And the massive sources and forces of allyship, the support that we get to awaken, is coming in full glory. There has never been a greater time to awaken, to embrace our power and support all of humanity in its awakening. So I'm a humble servant to that journey, and I'm a humble servant to all of humanity. With all the support that I get, I feel incredibly blessed to be able to serve and to empower others to serve. What else would you like to know, Tanjila?
And so, no, it's wonderful that you found this path of service, Asil. And I know that wasn't what you kind of had set out to do with your life initially. So tell us a little bit about the energies coming through. We just had this very powerful experience with Vox and really connecting with the Elohim. And I know my experiences with you as well, you're also bringing through extremely high, powerful, transformative energies. How does that feel for you, and why are they coming through for us right now?
So I believe these type of angelic or higher consciousness interventions are reserved for a special time in our existence. And that special time is currently opening up because we are ready for it. And it took me some time to actually become ready for it. So shedding all the layers of programming, patterning, conditioning, past life traumas, current life traumas, generational traumas, societal conditioning, all of these pieces had to be shed and transmuted for me to have the clarity and the alignment to be able to hear these higher consciousness layers that are present for all of us. Now, when they presented themselves to me, my first response was, I'm losing my mind. I've just done too many spiritual things and I've just lost it. And here we go. My family is going to be really worried about me. My friends are going to run the other way, and I'm going to end up on the streets by myself alone and die a miserable life. So that's what I thought is happening. Little did I know that it would be the greatest thing to happen in my life. This opening, no matter how initially destabilizing it was or challenging it was bringing a new light, a new power into my being, because it felt true and it felt right and it felt like the purest source love that I can access. And they said, well, we've got a job for you if you want it. And they said, we've been working with you and training you, and you've been training yourself to be a conduit, a vessel of our work, our support to humanity. And I thought, well, maybe you've got the wrong guy. Are you guys sure you have the right person? And of course, jokes aside, they don't really make mistakes like that. I started to embrace the truth that I could carry that. And the trainings that I had to go through were vast. Now, fast forward many years. Developing pillars of light in human society has become one of the most significant things I can do with my life. That is the empowerment of individuals that are in service to humanity in the awakening of humanity, in the evolution and the ascension of humanity. These pillars of light are unwavering. They have purified themselves. They have cleared their minds, their hearts, their physical bodies, their spiritual bodies. And they've aligned with the purest and highest frequencies they can hold in themselves, purely to serve humanity as unconditionally as possible. Now, that may be a very high standard and a very lofty goal, so to say, but I do believe that it is absolutely possible. I do believe that there is a threshold that we can reach together. The second part of the work is the sacred sites and the energetic grid of this world, the collective trauma, the energy that's being held in this fabric of the earth. That's why I'm going in June with some individuals and many that will join remotely, virtually, to the Balkans to transform the stagnant energies of many generations of war. The mass graves and the genocides of society are not just forgotten. They imprint themselves in the fabric of society. So some of us that can hold a high frequency and face these energies and transmute these energies will make a huge difference for that region, not alone for that region, but for the continent, for the entire globe, for all of humanity. Therefore, every country's transformation serves all of humanity.
Thank you, Asil. And I know you're really committed to doing this grid work globally, and you've been to many different sacred sites, and war-torn regions around the planet. What actually happens when you go to one of these places? What comes through for you and for everyone who's with you and everyone who's joining virtually as well?
It's really interesting because all of the sacred sites are as diverse as it gets. A beautiful sacred mountain could be a sacred site. A national park could be a sacred site. A temple that's built, an ancient site of a civilization could be a sacred site. A pyramid or spheres or a rock constellation. There are incredible amount of sacred sites on this world, thousands of them. Some of them we don't even know about. So some things are known to us and we go there. Some of them were channeled, so I get specific guidance to go to some of these places. And each country could have, for me specifically, anywhere from 10 to 50 sacred sites to visit in a period of time. So I have gone to all of the countries in the Middle East. I've gone through the Mediterranean, over Turkey, through Greece, through the Balkans, this next stop. Latin America has also started. So these energy lines, when the energy moves properly, the frequency of the entire region lifts, and the people and the individuals that are in that region, their frequency and their consciousness is also lifted to a different baseline. And when we get to that place of a higher baseline, things start to open up. Healing starts to happen. So when I go to the sacred sites, I might experience ancient deities or gods that want to connect and talk. I might experience spirits of the land, like ancient spirits, protectors, or even like, for example, going to the Oracle of Delphi, channeling and experiencing the last oracle that had lived was a transformative experience for me. Going to Guatemala to the site of the temple for Cucumats, who is a feathered serpent being, also called Quetzalcoatl in the Aztec tradition, knocked me out how powerful that energy was. A lot of these deities are waking up because it is time, not just for humanity to wake up, but everything is waking up. Everything is waking up because everyone is part of this awakening process. All forms of consciousness are part of it. And everyone that's watching here, you are part of it too. So we need everyone to participate in this to make a change.
And it's beautiful what you're doing, Asil, in creating these pillars of light, and saying that each one of us is awakening to become a pillar of light. And by doing so, it's not just for us, it's the collective ascension, but also the collective healing of trauma. And I know that's the transmission you brought through this morning as well, healing collective trauma. And what can you say about that? What came through in that transmission this morning for all of us?
It's a beautiful transmission. Thank you for joining to that. And everyone that wants to watch it, it's freely available. A transcript will be up soon. Collective trauma that is accumulated over many, many generations. It's not just something bad that we have just stored away and it's going to go away by itself. It is pretty much unprocessed experiences that have not transformed into realizations. So collective trauma is the unprocessed past of the entire human collective. So you might ask yourself, well, how are we going to, as a collective, process the past? Well, there is multiple different ways. The first way is that we go, see, feel, and appreciate the past, no matter what happened, without judging it to be good and bad, but part of a divine orchestration that was necessary. And with that transformational power, this collective trauma starts to be seen and dissolve, and energies that are stuck or part of holding that trauma in place starts to let go. And when that happens, at these sacred sites, no matter how heavy it is, even if thousands of people have died at a place that I go to, or even if there is active war, I've been to active war sites, I can feel how in the moment of the work that is being done there with the angelic forces and the Elohim, I can feel how the energy shifts. And there's a moment in that shift where the entire region starts to be lit up and the frequency rises. And to me, that's a moment of liberation. To be able to think that not just one man, but a collective of individuals putting their attention to the transformation of collective trauma can actually make a difference. I have hope again because of that. I believe in humanity again because of that. And I believe in all of you to be part of that.
I'd love to ask you a question for people that aren't necessarily able to travel to sacred sites.
Yeah.
How can they participate, and how can they contribute just in their own home, in their own backyard?
Absolutely. So what we are coming out with, and we've piloted this back in for Guatemala, is for people to be able to come with us digitally. So we will have a digital experience that people will be able to follow, where we will release transmissions from these sacred sites. We will have Zoom calls and Q&As, somewhat like going on a mission together, and that's the mission recap. And we'll talk about it, what people are experiencing. And at home, people are having incredible experiences. They are part of the journey of transformation. And We train people how to be present in the energy of their environment and on the energy of other environments, even if these environments are remotely, right? So you could project your consciousness to the pyramids of Egypt and you could have a meditation there. That is what we're training people to be able to do. So you don't really have to travel to these places. We can have your consciousness be part when we are there. And that's the magic that's available to all of us. It's older technology, but more sophisticated technology than the internet, because it's consciousness technology.
Exactly. So we can definitely join Asil in the sacred site visit to the Balkans, and I've put it in the chat, and be there with you as you clear these energy lines there. And that's going to be a very powerful experience that Asil will be leading this June 2023. And also, I know, Asil, you were also leading a worldwide meditation day coming up as well, that people can join in and share and be a part of, correct?
That's right. That's right. And I just want to mention that the link that's available here is for the in-person expedition, but there will also be a remote expedition link that will come up soon. It's not available yet, but it will come very soon, promise. World Meditation Day, there's no doubt that meditation changed humanity. Since the beginning of meditation, since the moment we called it meditation, obviously it's been there forever. The point is that in a moment of silence, in a moment of presence, we can come to a place of observation and to a place of realization. And every time we have realizations, we evolve. So meditation is a key piece, and we are doing this World Meditation Day. Very often our streams are also published on Unify. We try to get as many people as possible into these collective meditations, and we can feel what happens there. It's magnificent. It's like ripple effects across the entire globe, across entire humanity. I feel it makes a difference in my life, and we hear from many that it does. So collective meditation, even though it may sound like an old, theme, it is still very valid and very powerful. So join us for World Meditation Day.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Asil, for being with us tonight. And one quick question, Dorina is asking, since the virtual option is not mentioned, do you know yet when that'll be available and what the cost would be?
So the remote expedition will have a free aspect to it, and people can participate in it, basically experiencing as much of the free expedition as possible. And then there will be a discounted price of $33, where pretty much across the board, it will be as affordable as possible. And if people have hardship and they cannot afford it, they can reach out to us and we will most likely make it available to them, because that's the way we operate. We believe that this work should be accessible to everyone, and those that have more means to support us, we trust that they will support the mission when they see the value and the importance of it.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Asil. And so we have a question coming in from Pam.
Yes.
She says, Pam is asking, what happens right before the awakening? Right now, I feel that there is a great awakening, but on a daily basis, I find myself in tears, and emotionally, I struggle with the heavy weight of things that are happening in the world at this moment that I feel are overwhelming and out of control. I'm interpreting this as a positive thing because it has always been there, but now I'm more tuned in and care more. So, yeah. What do you have to say to Pam and her question?
First of all, it's beautiful that you're tuned into it, because your sensitivity is increasing and your ability to observe is increasing. So that's a good first step. You'll see there is definitely an intensification and a rising of energies that's occurring through the entire globe. The things that we have accumulated, that we have ignored, that we have suppressed as individuals and as society, will have to be transformed, and it is coming. and it is being fueled by the rising of energies. So as individuals, we will feel more, but with practice, we can observe the pains, the challenges, the traumas, until they transform without it really feeling like true pain, because we're an observer state from a place of a soul rather than from a place of being in this dualistic space as a human. Now, of course, it's beautiful to feel, but the observational state of the consciousness is a powerful transformer, and that allows us to move through our own challenges and through the challenges of society, through, for example, collective meditations. In that fabric of a collective, it's much easier to observe pain and collective trauma because it's held by many people at the same time. Do you see?
Yeah.
So it will get better, Pam, I promise. And the practice and the communities that are out there, the new tools that are coming, the great support we're getting from higher consciousness will make it possible.
Thank you for answering that question. And we're going to have more question and answer after we've heard from all of our presenters. Asil, thank you so much for the beautiful work you're doing around the world.
Thank you, Scott.
And we'll see you in a little while.
Thank you.
You know, on the show, we always, especially on Saturday night, we really like to mix beautiful music with these inspirational presenters. And I'm really excited because we've had Stephanie Carlin on the show before. She's best friends with our beloved Kristen Hoffman. But tonight we get to experience a different aspect of her because she's with her partner here and they are together for Fader, a conduit that unites the conscious to the unconscious. They are dedicated and they have taken this word. What does Fader mean? Well, they're taking the word forefather, and so the music of Fader is a communion with nature, ancestral spirits, and excommunication with the material world. The debut album that was created in starkly different environments, the expansive desolation of the desert and the lush bloom of the forest. And you're going to see the beautiful duality imbued in their songs. So this is Stephanie Carlin and Carrie Clayton. They are an LA-based duo, and as you're about to see, they have a beautiful array of music and experience that we're about to have. So welcome, Fader. Welcome, Stephanie. And it's great to have you back with us. And it's wonderful to meet your partner here. Welcome, Carrie.
Thank you, Scott. It's so great to be here today. Shall we take it away?
Absolutely. Anything you want to say about this opening song?
This song is called Let the Light In. Being divinely led is powerful. Being led by our angels and guides is powerful. And this song is about that moment where you have to summon your courage and take the action yourself. Let the light in.
Beautiful. That's perfect.
Sweetness, dear one, decide who you're gonna be. Hey. Know your power, know your peace. You must know you are the one. Oh, little flower, time to open, time to blossom, to awaken. Hold your power, be unbroken. Let the light in, let the light in. Let the light in, 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 let the light in.
You could hit that. I was waiting for it to go up to
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Stop.
That's
Thank
all.
you.
Twinkle. You caught me off guard there a little bit. It ended abruptly. What a beautiful, beautiful song. It's all Twinkle for Fader. And Stephanie and Carrie, thank you so much for being with us. And they're going to be back with another song. Thank you, Adora, for dancing with us and kind of getting that energy going. Thank you so much. And thank you both. And we look forward to
Thank you.
seeing more of you in a little while. Thank you so much. Well, Tanjila, our show is off to a beautiful, beautiful start, of course.
Yes, definitely amazing so far. Just so many incredible beings and energies coming together. I love it.
And you're bringing on a new friend. Tell us
Yes.
about Peter.
Yeah, so I'm excited to bring on Peter Benson. And Peter was a normal mechanic and technician when he experienced a major awakening and opened up his connection to his higher self and the angelic realms. And he discovered he had angelic origins and he's a part of Archangel Michael's army of light. And so, guided by the archangels and ascended masters, Peter has been guided on how to put together tensor technology with palpable healing properties. And his research has led him to build tensor rings, crystal infused pendants like the one I'm wearing here, Merkaba, healing coils, sound frequency amplifiers, PTSD restoratives, and much more. And so it's really powerful because, Peter is being guided by the angelics and through the angelic realms to create this advanced quantum technology for healing, for connection, for transformation. And these tools are designed with mathematical and quantum principles to harness profound angelic energy and crystal healing virtues. And you can see I'm wearing one myself. This is the Archangel Michael pendant. And I have to say that I first wore it at my psychic and healing fair in Scottsdale, which was extremely packed and extremely busy. We had hundreds and hundreds of people there. And as soon as I put this on, it was like, everything just kind of like calmed and, the energy just really shifted for me. And I really do feel Archangel Michael's presence. And actually I feel his like wings enveloping me when I'm wearing this and he comes to me in that way. So Peter, thank you for your work and welcome to the show. We're really excited to have you here to introduce your work and the transformational technologies that you build.
Thank you for having me on. It's been a privilege. Wonderful music, wonderful folks. This is amazing. Really, really is. The music is overwhelming. It's really, really profound. Thank you, all of you guys. Yeah, and to actually be invited here has been a privilege. It's, angelically, it's my goal, my path is, as you were saying, a mechanic. I was a grease monkey working on cars. And you swear like a sailor when you're working on the cars and coming into this stuff, it's like, okay, shifting my way through it, being engineering technician, all that fun stuff. And yeah, it's one of those things. It's like, okay, here we go. I went through a transformation where everything was shifting for me in my life. So I ended up trying to figure out who I was. And at this point, that's when I started finding tensor technology. And once I did that, the next thing I know, the Archangel Metatron came in and said, well, you need to make this. So I started making the anklets, and that was the anklet that he told me how to make. And from there, the archangels have come in to help me and guide me in the processes and the tools to help people protect themselves. Because the original plan or the instructions for the anklet was to help you protect your frequency as we go through these times. So there are those of us that can, through intention, create the shielding effect that is required and can ground ourselves readily and easily. But there are those that are coming through on the path that aren't ready for that yet or haven't been able to accomplish it in a meaningful and stabilizing way. And that's where the anklets came in, were to help ground and protect your energy field. And it was really interesting on the path there, the tools that the archangels came in, for me. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. I was going through a bunch of other life stuff going on, and the anklets kind of went to the wayside a little bit. And the next thing I know, I get a message through my wife, Vivian, and she got some higher dimensional beings come into a dream state vision for her and say, it's time for Peter to start making those now. You know, I had put them on the side. They're like, no, 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 you need to start making them. This is actually to help people. And, you know, at that point, this is where energies of service came into being. It's like, I'm here to be, of service. In these tensor tools and tensor energies, along with crystals, are there to basically adapt and modify your own energy in your field. There's no batteries, there's no electronics. This is just crystals, tensor energy in you. So this is really fun. And then the next message was the pendant that you're wearing, Tanjila. It's the Archangel Michael. Metatron came in with then Michael came in, and it's like, okay, these are the things that we want to see. And so they're protecting your energy, giving you calming effects and all these other things. And it's been a privilege, and you know, uh, it's been challenging at times too to produce the tools because people really, really, really need them. And then when the waves come in, it's just like, oh my goodness, okay, how am I going to get all these out to people? It's really intense, and I'm overly grateful for all of the challenge and the path and the learnings that I've had from all of it. Michael comes into me all the time, and I get channeled messages. Um, and it's really kind of interesting when he decides to come in. I start crying like a kid, and the next thing I know, I'm like, okay, kind of organize myself, and then the message comes through. It helps me understand who's talking, kind of thing. Uh, and it's just profound coming in from my path and understanding. If I can do it coming from mechanic, engineering, totally, left brain kind of work, and finding myself uh, going into books, Dolores Cannon, Michael Newton, the life after death, and stuff like that, to coming into working with archangels and helping them guide these tools into the hands of people that really, really need them. It's it's a gift, and I'm very, very grateful for what they've actually brought through to me. And yeah, it's been fun.
Peter, I'd love to ask you, as somebody who was leading a normal life, what have been some of the challenges and the ways you've managed to really listen to the angelic voices, to experience them, and to trust the guidance? You kind of like, Noah built an ark,
Yep.
So how have you managed that? Because I know that a lot of the people watching are also learning how to listen to higher guidance, even when that may not make sense based on their previous sense of reality.
Well, that's a fantastic question because it's actually very true. For me, it was one of those things where um, when you're working in the industry of mechanic or engineering, you're looking at technology, you're looking at schematics, and you understand what you need to be doing. When you're working with this stuff, it's a matter of, okay, I listen and I hear a message and it's like, okay, I need to do this. I need to do what? And then you have to listen again. And then it gets clearer and clearer and clearer. One of the things I really started paying attention to was synchronicities. If you start getting one message, you see it, you understand it, you recognize it, and it's like, okay, cool, and you just move on. But if you start getting that same message over and over again because you're not really addressing it, you know that that's something and you really need to pay attention to, because they're trying to get a hold of you and try to either steer you in a direction where you need to be, or it's something that needs to come through and you need to address straight up. uh, so for me it was the actual understanding was the synchronicities and just listening. uh, for one of the interesting things is when I'm actually doing the work, building pendants, and that is when I get my logical brain out of the way and let the creativity just flow. That is when I get my messages more defined and very much uh, really, really on point. uh, because it's just like, okay, I get the logical mind out of the way, the doubt, the questioning, all those things, they just move away, and I just allow, because I have no judgment at that point. I'm just my mind is just creating. There's nothing in the way.
Mhm.
So at that point, it was actually very much a powerful fit, powerful, understanding.
How about dealing with other people in your reality? Like, have you had any challenges with people? Because oftentimes when we graduate or we move into a higher vibration, there's certain people who may even think that they're helping you by discouraging you or bringing you back to reality. Have you had to deal with that at all?
Yeah, I've lost friends because of that, lost acquaintances, and uh, I've gained a lot more than I've lost. It's more of a it's more of a like it's more of, if you're looking at it, it's like a journey. As you're walking down the street, you meet people, they walk with you for a little while, and then they walk away, and then other people come in and walk with you. So for me, it's like I've met a whole bunch of people in my lifetime, and some have been there, they've challenged me, they've pushed me, they've helped guide my journey, positive, negative, on, every other way. To the point where those are lessons, those are helping me look at things differently. So when you have a challenge, when people come in, and they start challenging you for, well, why are you doing this? You're just going to start doing this stuff. You're an engineering technician. Why would you do that? And for me, it's just like, well, for me, it just feels natural to be doing this more than doing engineering technician. I'm very grateful for being a mechanic. I learned how to do metal work, work with torches, work with all that, my hands in that field. And through engineering technician, I learned how to work in precision, details, and all the specifications and understanding. So all those ways that helped me. And just like those training and learnings helped, people along the way help teach me, guide me, and steer me in the right direction. And then when we get into this in the more of a fold where we start seeing people that are on the same path, then you get the encouragement and understanding. And that just brings things into a full circle for, okay, now I know I'm on the right path. And just because of the way when you feel it, it's more of a feeling at that point.
Beautiful, Peter. And I want to say thank you for answering the call, or I don't know if the archangels gave you an option, but
No, not
thank you
really.
for following their direction. And we have a couple of questions coming in from, dear Therese. She said, stunning pendant, beautiful. And she loves knowing that Archangel Michael is active with you, Peter. And Donna is asking, I'm curious, the Archangel Michael pendant online is different from the one Tanjila is wearing. Do you design them for each person? That's her question.
The pendants that we have online are pretty much a standard. So the Archangel Michael is a Michael, and they're all the same per se. They're all handmade, so the crystal sizes and orientation might be a little bit different on every single one. So the Michael's going to give you the shielding effect, the calming, clearing, and healing, emotional healing. And they're entirely, which is the funnest part about these tools, is they're entirely controllable through intention. You can tell it to clear, you can tell it to go to full power, you can tell it to do all these things. So each one is unique, and yet they're the same.
Yeah,
I hope that
exactly.
answered the
And
question.
it is a tool, like you said, Peter, because again, we do have the power, within us, and it's up to us to utilize this tool, to our, utmost need and capability. And I see Bobby also commenting, I have that Angel Shamuel amulet and has truly helped me with PTSD. Very powerful. And also you have the pyramid behind you, which I wanted to just say is also a very powerful tool. Just to let everyone know, I had the privilege of being with Peter and his wife, Vivian Chauvet, who many of you know, who's an Arcturian hybrid and incredible galactic teacher, just 2 weeks ago in San Diego. And I had a very powerful release experience in that pyramid. Actually, and I was like choking. I was opening up my throat chakra and reconnecting my throat chakra to the rest of my body, basically. And I think actually I was doing some of that when this show started as well. Whatever remnants were still there. But again, very powerful tool that you have created, and both you and Vivian are working through and with.
Oh, absolutely.
I did not realize until just now that you are Mr. Vivian.
Yes. Yes, I am.
Love her. She is, again, she's right up there with Vox and some of the other people we've met recently that we're so impressed with. She brings in, well, I'm telling you, but for the audience, she brings in such incredible information in a very grounded way. Her story is remarkable. So, wow, what a dynamic duo you are together. Wow.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
people can learn much more by going to SoulSearch. And remember, everybody, if you have not joined SoulSearch yet, do it tonight. It's really important. And that's where you'll find Peter and his energies of service. Isn't that a beautiful combination of words? Energies of service. And you can feel it as you're hearing. A lot of the testimonials are coming into our chat box right now. So go to SoulSearch. You can find Peter there. Peter will be with us for our conversation at the end, our panel. And Peter, I'm so impressed with who you are and that you're married to Vivian and you're doing this great work.
Yep, they're doing amazing work together, Scott. So I was very excited to bring Peter on this show. Of course, we know Vivian and her amazing work, but together they are quite a dynamic duo. And Peter, thank you for all you do. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanjila. Thank you, Scott.
It's beautiful to see these amazing couples come in together, like Tanjila and Charlie. And we're going to meet Charlie a little bit later on in the show. So a lot of people are finding their perfect partners. Well, I get to introduce one of my perfect partners. He and I partner together a lot. And I am, of course, talking about my co-pilot on all the Awakening World shows. He has grown wings. And it's.
I just had to prove to you that I was a perfect partner tonight, Scott. And and thank you, Peter. It's amazing, really, listening to all these stories to give you a different perspective on how to actually speak to folks on the street, so to speak. I've worked in professions where the language has been, every word has been coarse, with the occasional descriptive word in between. However, I found the heart amongst these people to be fully alive. It's just that the vibration of the language is different. And I've never really been able to talk about this to them, so to speak. And listening to all our different perspectives gives me some more brain fodder to be able to speak. Okay, I can't speak from the top down, but I can speak from the bottom up. And because some of the people I've met, whilst I've been swearing my head off, have been some of the most beautiful people in my life. And so without further ado, this is called Distant Light. And Adora, it's all up to you tonight, sweetie.
Yeah, I want to see people up and moving and grooving to the music. It's that halfway point of the show, so let's do that.
letting them go. Life unravels, homeward we travel. Homeward we travel. We're not alone on this blue-green planet. Angels are here, here to assist us, and seeds that we sow, growing within us, and hands that we hold. We're here to serve, we're here to serve, and moving them through all the troubles, letting them go. Life unravels, homeward we travel. Whoa. Homeward we travel. And moving on through all the troubles, letting them go. Life unravels, homeward we travel. Homeward we travel. We're not alone on this blue-green planet. Angels are here, here to assist us, and seeds that we sow, growing within us, and hands that we hold. We're here to serve, we're here to serve, and moving on through all the troubles, letting them go. Life unravels, homeward we travel. Homeward we travel. Homeward we travel. Homeward we travel. Homeward we
It's twinkle time for Omashar. Let's twinkle our beloved brother, our co-pilot, for that. That was a great song, and how perfect for tonight's show.
Yes, thank you so much.
And again, we can get all things Omashar at omashar.bandcamp.com.
Or omashar.com. I have a new site which is slowly being erected, let's say.
Well, gosh, let's go there right now. Omashar.com. Come on. There we go. I see purple. I see a heart. Are you guys seeing that?
Whoa, there it is.
Metaphysical musician.
And you scroll down, and it has all the relative stuff. But we're getting there.
Hey, beautiful. This is new. All right.
That's my brother.
Your brother from another mother. All right. And look at all the links, all the different ways you can get Omashar music.
Anyway, thank you. So you can fill my coffers through that portal. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Omashar. You are such an incredibly important part of the awakening world now. So
Thank you.
Well, I get to introduce you to one of my favorite human beings. Several years ago, I was attending a conference I was speaking at, and it was in Portland, Oregon. And I saw this beautiful young lady walking through the halls of the conference with wings on, holding a sign asking us to be kind. And my friend that I was teaching with, Emily, and I were like, wow, what a beautiful being she is. Well, that's when I first met Mandelyn Reese, also known as the Street Angel. And her mission is incredible. She is dedicated to bringing more kindness to our world. And she goes to street corners, to baseball stadiums, football stadiums, holding her signs and asking people to be kind. And just the courage it takes to wear wings in public and to acknowledge her angelic self, despite occasionally those people that don't know how to handle it. So some people that are less mature, when they don't understand something, they ridicule it, they make it wrong. And that's never stopped her from her mission. She's had her own television show. She became quite the minor celebrity in Los Angeles. And most of all, she just has a really pure heart. To me, Mandy represents those beings that are earth angels, beings that are higher vibration that came into the earth plane to help humanity raise consciousness, because obviously humanity is on this incredible precipice of either extinction or awakening. And thank you, Mandy, for the ways that you are embodying the angelic energy, the earth angel that you are, to help lift humanity up. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Scott. Can you hear me okay?
Perfectly.
Okay, because I switched to earbuds because my laptop doesn't have the best speaker. But thank you for that wonderful introduction. And I was immediately drawn to you and Emily as well. It was just a divine moment in life. And you've been so instrumental in supporting me. I can't thank you enough sometimes. So thank you.
Please share with our audience, because you're one of the most courageous people I know. And so share with us your inspiration and how, even when life is hard, or even if you're being ridiculed for wearing the wings, how you still show up. How do you manage to do that?
Well, when I first got the calling, to be honest with you, I was terrified. My first day, I was shaking like a leaf and questioning my sanity. But I managed to, get over that challenge and start on a street corner in Los Angeles. And it kind of was one of those things where it's like, the more I did it, the more braver and confident I got. But then, when you do get the occasional bully or troll, it can, I am a human embodiment, and it does hurt to be attacked in any form. And especially on my tender mind and soul, it's kind of one of those things where people say harsh things and it goes in your brain like a broken record and just kind of beats you up forever. And so it does affect me, but I still just try to get up each day and just take it one day at a time. And one of my posters actually is make your courage greater than your fears. I know it's backwards, right? But
no, we see it okay. We see it perfectly.
Oh, on my screen it's backwards. So it says, just be brave. So the message, everything I do really is for the greater good. I was activated in 2012, Mayan calendar year was a very powerful sledgehammer awakening for me. And I had to do it. I had this passion, I had this motivation, and it branched out. I started on a street corner with a sign of just be kind, and so that's my basic message, is spreading kindness. But I've branched out into having a talk show for 7 seasons, started in a Hollywood studio, but devoted to helping humanity, just raise consciousness and ascension, and trying to just get people to be kinder to the planet as well. Like one of my signs is also about pick up trash, don't litter, recycle. It really needs to be a collective effort that we're taking better care of our home planet, Mother Earth, Gaia. And I've through my process of random meditation that I do is when I would be downloaded different things to share with humanity. The first one was epic healing meditation. So it's meant to help people go through each one of their energy centers, their chakras, and clear out old heavy baggage and release trauma, but have a tool where you immediately refill with Holy Spirit. And so I have that. It's on CD, and I do workshops. In fact, I just did one last weekend where in person, where I do sound tools for people and do the epic healing meditation. And I'm really just here to serve. And, you know, it is scary sometimes. I still have moments where I will go into an event and really be scared, particularly the higher end events, or, you know, where there's a lot of rich people or whatever, you know, that I can get a lot of judgmental people looking at me weird, like, why are you wearing wings at this, you know? And it's just, I can't explain it, but it's just something I have to do. And sometimes I don't want to, and I do it anyway. And I take different cues. I do get some signs where it's like, okay, you need to put your wings on. And I'm like, all right, I don't know why I got to put it on for this, but okay, I'm going to go in. And, but yeah, it's just a calling. I was activated. I answered the call. I just did, you know. It led me on a magic carpet ride through the Hollywood scene. I got invited to so many things, but really it's always, I try to not make it so much about me. I mean, yes, I'm the walking human billboard, but I always try to say it's really about the messages. It's about the posters. I'm just the model holding the sign, like, hey, you know. But people, when they want to attack me, when they get triggered by the poster, it's like they want to come at me and attack me. Or if they think I'm just doing it to show off. No, that if you go read my website, I have a whole very detailed meaning of, you know, I'm just trying to show messages. This is my calling. This is what I'm meant to do. So, you have any questions or?
Well, Mandy, I'd love for you to share, you know, so often we don't know the impact we're making. But would you be willing to share maybe a story of someone that you learned that you had made an impact on through this work?
Yes, I actually had a doctor who messaged me, and he said he'd seen my posters, and he was at a gas station one day, and he overheard this couple was out of gas and they didn't have enough money, and he could tell they were like for real, like in that moment. And he just felt called, and he remembered my poster, and he just went up and he said, you know what, I'm going to pay for your gas tank today. So that was really nice, just to feel like I do make a difference in some way. You know, I feel like sometimes, you know, maybe I don't know how I help. And that's the point. It's just, I'm just a ripple, right? It's just a reminder. I'm just the walking human billboard, right? And the more we can help each other and just have more positive vibes, then we can do better as a collective. You know, my goal is humanity works like an ant pile. We suddenly all wake up, we realize we're in this mess together, and we need to like do things better. Nobody should be out on the street starving and begging for pennies. Like, we could work together and have healthy foods and enough for everybody. We could have housing for everybody, and everybody contributes. And if people are too sick or ill or disabled, you know, they're still cared for because they matter. They're humans as well. You know, like, we just need to wake up, and we're so stuck in this profits over people thing, and it drives me crazy. So I'm just like, why don't people see that we're not doing this right? Like, how is it this way? And it's only getting worse. I mean, every time you turn around, the rents are going up higher, and people are freaking out and struggling and getting evicted. And I'm like, okay, everyone's complaining about the homeless problem, and yet they keep doing it, you know, every year. And I'm just like, when are people going to wake up and do something about it? I don't know.
Well, you are, you know, you certainly are. And you were on with Kalina on Thursday. I'm going to bring Tanjila on too, because it was, you were having a human vulnerable day, and it was beautiful to see Kalina really caught who you are and caught the beauty of your mission. And I felt like a proud papa, because I love you, and I have such respect for you, and I'm really impressed with Kalina. She's the real deal. And it was beautiful to see one member of our community supporting another member of our community, knowing how often you are supporting members of our community all the time, going out there. And she's being modest, but when she goes out, she befriends people. She talks to people that might be lonely. She talks to people that aren't necessarily able to talk to somebody that's that beautiful or that angelic. And she provides an amazing service. And I love your purpose, which you describe. And by the way, we're on her website for those of you on Facebook or watching. Her website is thestreetangel.com. Thestreetangel.com. You can learn all about her, learn more about what she's doing, watch episodes of her Hollywood talk show, and support her. And how can people best support you, Andy?
Well, right now I am in the weirdest financial place I've ever been in my life, so I don't know what to do about that. I do feel like somehow the world needs to come and support me in a way. I don't know. I can't tell you, Scott. That's the one department I'm not really good at, but honestly.
So anybody who's out there who's ready and looking to market the Street Angel or help her to support, she could use that. And I really want to put that calling out. There might be somebody watching right now who goes, my God, I love what this woman's doing, and I'd love to help you in whatever way. So you can contact her by going to thestreetangel.com. And Tanjila, as my co-host, and I know you've met Mandy, how does Mandy inspire you? What do you find yourself thinking right now?
Well, I just wanted to say, Mandy, you're just doing incredible work in the world. And I want to reiterate what Kalina said on Thursday, that, your wings are ever present, whether you're actually physically wearing them or not, and they're just spread so wide and enveloping the entire world with your love. And that's really just what shines through from you and through you in every moment. And so it's like, whether these people are reacting to you, it's beyond, who you are, because you're enveloping everything and everyone around you with this incredible unconditional love and these ethereal wings that you have that are always on you, no matter what you're actually wearing in the physical. So, you really are an earth angel. And I just want to thank you and recognize you for being the earth angel and being so brave to, get out there and just, tell people to be kind, because that's what we're here to do. And so, I know that you've been through some ups and downs lately, but I'm sure things are going to continue opening up for you in beautiful ways. And just want to thank you and acknowledge you for all that you do for all of us. Thank you.
There's a lot of comments coming in, and so many people are just really appreciating you, Mandy. Definitely make sure you read the comments. And, do you have a place where people can donate? Someone's asking if there's a place where people can donate to you.
Oh, thank you. Just on my Street Angel page in the top right corner, I think is a donate tab. But I also just want to take one last second to say my products I downloaded from Spirit are designed to help people's ascension in a way, like in higher consciousness. And I have an angel card deck that helps you navigate your relationships and dating. And it's not like an oracle deck. It's helps you tune into your inner voice and ask the tough questions. And to help you try to relate better in your partnerships. And of course, the Epic Healing CD. And my new book is out on Amazon. And this has some of my stories of my angel mission and pictures, but it's really a playbook for you. It's a playbook for an adult to basically plan your life. So when you start with meditation and you get clarity and you get visions of things you want to do, things you want to create, places you want to see, things that you need in your life, things you need to attract. And so the book helps you get clarity and write things down. When you write stuff down, you're 90% more likely to get it done. And it has vision board pages you can use. So it's really a life tool that I designed, and I made it purposely thin and small because we're all busy, right? It's not a thick book, tons of wording. It's kind of a short and sweet, like, here's your tool, use it, plan your life, do the best you can and make this life meaningful. I mean, you're here, you might as well try to do things that God's downloaded in your brain to do, and it just kind of gives you some tips on how to manifest from your vision into the physical.
Mandy, I want to read a couple of comments that have come in towards you.
Okay.
Vox, the amazing woman that started our show, writes, Mandelyn Reese, you are an amazing and bright light. Thank you for your continued service and many blessings to you, dear one. And Ayada writes, Mandelyn, you are precious. I'm so inspired by your powerful heart and by your sensitivity and vulnerability. The world is a better place because you are devoting your life to uplifting others, even at risk of making yourself more vulnerable. I can totally understand how it must be difficult at times. Please know that right now, my heart is holding you in warmth and strength. And Omashar writes, Mandelyn, you are so true to yourself, and it is encouraging and inspiring to hear your story. Thank you for your courage and light, and that is sending ripples of grace out everywhere. And now more comments are coming in that I don't have time to read. So
thank you, everybody. It really means a lot to me. I've really been struggling lately. And I do want to say Kalina was a miracle worker for me that day. That was a very vulnerable share for me. It was tough to be on a screen going through that. But when she was working on me, I really felt like the energy was coming through. The Holy Spirit was like scrubbing my third eye and like came through and was like healing my heart. And I was like, whoa, I felt so much better after that healing versus how I felt earlier in the day. And it was a divine moment because I was on my knees in the backyard praying, God, I need healing. I need help. I'm not feeling well. And Scott's like, come to my show and meet Kalina and get a healing. It was like an immediate answer to my prayer. I almost had a heart attack. I was like, oh my God, God answered my prayer like immediately. And I was so grateful. So I just wanted to share that moment, how much it meant for me. And thank you, Scott, and everybody for your support and good words.
And there's a wonderful lesson for all of us. Let's listen. And if you get that little impulse to reach out to somebody, or just throughout the day, who might I know that could use a call right now, or a text message right now, or a lift? And I try to do that throughout the day, to tune in and see, like, who am I getting the call to support? And we're all here to support each other. So thank you, Tanjila, for creating the Kalina event. And again, we're all part of the Global Peace Tribe. We're all part of this one big family as we're helping each other to awaken.
Thank you.
We are one. We are one. We are one. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, 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 oh. We are one. One love. We are one. One love. We are one love. Yeah, yeah. One love. 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 One love.
Hey, everybody, it is time for the Global Peace Tribe announcements. And we're going to start by taking a look at a reminder about light touch. Light touch is something that a lot of us do throughout the day. Omashar and I periodically do light light touch groups, and you can learn all about light touch by going to light-touch.me. I've been actually working with Jay lately. We're going to be adding more and more videos, more and more applications, including some of the Love Coach Academy work. So definitely light touch is a wonderful way to support yourself. And it really ties into the whole angelic theme, because a big part of what Jay has taught us is that when we're doing light touch, either by ourselves or with someone else, or my current light touch partner, who's sleeping on my lap right now, Jasmine Bear, she's going to give me a light touch with her tongue there. Whoever you're doing light touch with, it helps us to remember the beauty of being in these human bodies, and then to pray while we're doing it, and to call forth on the angels, and to ask for blessings, maximum grace for Tanjila, maximum grace for Mandy, our street angel. So light touch is a wonderful way to expand our offerings. So that's our first Global Peace Tribe announcement. And the next ones are going to be with our beloved co-host, Tanjila. Tanjila, what do you got cooking with SoulSearch?
Oh, so we have our upcoming psychic and healing fairs. That's been something that we've been really putting together this year. And it's just been a lot of fun getting so many, amazing souls coming and joining around LA, around the Bay Area. You can go to soulsearch.io, and we have a tab that says psychic fairs. And then you can just scroll down and see all of our upcoming events, which we have many in June and July and August. A lot of our amazing guests who you see here have all been a part of them, or are a part of them. And these are really fairs for, healing, transformation, spiritual guidance, support. We have incredible speakers, workshops throughout the day. And what I love about them is that so many people come to us and they're like, that was my first introduction to this community, to the multidimensional realms, to, understanding and working towards my higher purpose, to these modalities that are out there, to these teachers and retreats and courses. So, we love bringing everyone together online, but we also love bringing everyone together in person as well. So definitely you can check out our link online at SoulSearch Psychic Fairs. And we have all types. We have Pasadena, June 3rd and 4th, Santa Ana, June 11th, Burlingame, July 8th, Santa Clara, July 15th and 16th, San Rafael, July 29th, and Scottsdale, June 18th. And, much more to come. We're really loving the energy of us being together, the workshops, the speakers, the transmissions coming through. It's been a really powerful experience. So if you guys are in any of those locations, we hope that you can join us. And we have also our ongoing online events as well. We had a really amazing healing session online with Kalina on Thursday, and we're going to continue doing more of those with our incredible SoulSearch, healers and practitioners, because we've been hearing from you how powerful that experience was, whether you got to have an individual healing and reading with Kalina. It was applicable for all of us, and we all were feeling that energy and that holographic resonance of the healing coming through. And we really want to be bringing forth more of that to our community. So definitely stay tuned. We have more of that coming up, as well as another Global Peace Tribe show on May 20th on embodying our divine superpowers. So excited to see you guys there.
Great. I love co-hosting with you, Tanjila. And this woman gets so much done. I mean, my God, her psychic fairs are a huge success. And we're going to be doing 2 shows every month together. And she brings so many great new people to us, like tonight meeting Peter for the first time. She is just, you're a gem, Tanjila. I so appreciate working with you.
Oh, thank you. And I love working with you, Scott, and love being here with the Global Peace Tribe. We're all soul family coming together, and it's amazing.
It is. Everybody join SoulSearch if you haven't already. And join the Global Peace Tribe if you haven't already. For all of you watching on Facebook and YouTube, if you haven't joined yet, join us. Go to globalpeacetribe.com, click where it says register for the new season, and that'll take you to our registration page. We do 3 or 4 shows every week, all original with amazing presenters like you're seeing tonight. Beautiful, inspired speakers. I've already got pretty much the next 6 weeks booked up with some really great stuff. So join us. You're going to get links to all the Zoom rooms. You can come in and you really become part of the Global Peace Tribe. And we have more and more events that we're doing. We're doing retreats now. It's truly a great global family. So come and join the Global Peace Tribe. And as always, we combine inspired speakers and presenters. And speaking of people that we love, Kristen Hoffman just came into the room. And so, Kristen, if you can hear my voice, your timing is perfect because you are dear friends with the people that are about to play next. It is the second song tonight with Forfeiter. And of course, Kristen Hoffman, amazing timing. You popped in. There you are, Kristen. Our audience loves you. And Kristen said, when we were in Sedona, we were together, and she said, you've got to have Stephanie on the show again. I said, you're right. She was great. So, Kristen, you have given birth to what we're about to experience here.
Oh, I'm so glad I got on in perfect time. I'm super excited. Big love, big love. I love you, Steph.
Love you too.
Well, how's that for amazing? Your dear friend coming in right at the perfect timing.
It's perfect. We can't wait to play this next song for you guys.
Tell us about it. What's the second song?
This song is called The Rains. The chorus goes, I don't know what I don't know, but I know that we grow little by little. And again, it's just like the first song. What little steps of courage can you take to get to that next level for yourself? So I think of this song as a mantra for that.
Beautiful.
Shall we?
Yeah.
Press that little button.
Lonely, just a little bit. Only, just a little bit overgrown, ripened, just a little bit of fruit. Uprooted, just a little bit, trying and failing just a little bit, being reused. I don't know what I don't know, but I know that we grow
Oh, that's so beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, really appreciating the perfection that on a show about angels, you're bringing such a very soft, angelic energy to us tonight. And everybody, you can find them on Instagram. So go to your Instagram account, go to For Fader and follow them. And how do we get your album? What's the best way to get your album? Through Instagram, or is there?
We are slowly dripping out our album. So both of these songs are on Spotify.
Okay.
They're on Apple Music. They're probably anywhere where you stream music. Go follow us there.
All right. Well, I sure hope you'll be back on the show again sometime. And thank you, Kristen, for making the suggestion. Love you so much. Yeah. All right.
That was so beautiful. So beautiful. Oh, I love that piece. I love all the For Fader pieces. I mean, each one that's coming out is just, woo! You guys are doing such beautiful work, such incredible music. I was writing, it feels to me, it's like a massage to my soul. And I love the poetry and the layers, and you guys all have to go listen online because the production is so beautiful too of these pieces. There's so many gorgeous layers, and you just feel like you're inspired and you're massaged musically, and it's the perfect get up tomorrow, put on my favorite morning song. Is the new one recently. Tell me the name again, stuff. Time.
It's In Time. I remember getting a voice memo from you telling me everything you felt in that song. I remember getting a voice memo from you telling me everything you felt in The Rains, the song we just played here.
Yes. So beautiful. I just can't even wait for more. You guys are doing such beautiful work. Thank you.
Thanks, Kristen.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you both. Beautiful. Beautiful. Wow. Well, we still have more people that we haven't heard from yet. And then, of course, we are going to conclude with a beautiful question and answer panel. Thank you so much, For Fader. Thank you, Kristen, for dropping in. And Kristen, of course, will be back with us. She's got an album coming out, and we're really excited about in June when we're going to have her back on the show with her next album. But Tanjila, I think it's time for you to introduce us to the wonderful Joan of Angels.
Yes, and I'm so excited to introduce Joan of Angels, who is an incredible oracle of ancient wisdom, spiritual advisor, wing fluffer, and spiritual chiropractor, visionary artist who can really see and express the essence of your soul through her art. Really, what an incredible privilege and honor for me to be introducing my very dear friend, Joan of Angels, who I also had fun rooming with her. We were housemates in Mount Shasta last summer as well, which was wonderful. But she is really a powerful oracle connected to the angelic realms, the galactic realms, and she's really here to support each one of us and all of humanity in remembering who we truly are and unlocking our highest potential and supporting us as we step into our sovereignty. And she really can help clear through chaos, fear, depression, to really help people on their journey and understanding their life path, releasing fear, and stepping into our true mastery. So, Joan, you've been doing this work for years. You're an incredible healer, guide, practitioner, speaker, artist, and now bringing forth this visionary spiritual art where you can bring through our soul essence. It's so exciting to have you here. Welcome, Joan.
Tanjila, I am beyond excited to be here. I want to thank you. I want to thank Scott and all the Global Peace Tribe, the musicians. Okay, the musicians almost brought me to tears. each of the angelic speakers, Tanjila, are so powerful that it's a combined whole of how to connect with the angelic realms. So I'm really happy to be here.
And of course, we had to have you here, because you are Joan of Angels, connecting all of us and connecting, with the angelics in every moment. So would love to hear what you have to share for all of us and the work that you do and what we can do in our day-to-day lives.
Well, that's a lot to answer in one 10-minute session, but I will say the following. I want everyone to just take a deep breath with me. Let's just feel into the presence of the divine. We've been hearing the music and the speakers, but let's just feel that within us and understand that not only are we here with our angels, but our angels are here with us. And our galactic family, our angelic family, those who are on the other side are with us all the time. And in a special energy like tonight, we can really feel their presence. So take a deep breath in with me, guys. And what I really want you to do is first to bring your shoulders back, open up your arms. I want to see all your arms opened up here and really feel that even in just this position, in this presence where we're actually calling in the angels, we can feel their presence. I want you to just imagine that they're here with you in your room, walking behind you, coming in to just hold you, to fluff your wings, to help you remember that you are whole and how beautiful you are. And as they do that, as they just fluff those wings, as they take out every feather, every wing, and they start to clean it and oil it and make them beautiful and new again, they start to remove all your fears. They start to remove all that has kept us bound and in shame. Because truly, we are in unique times now. We are in the times that have been promised to us, that the angels will come, that we will be able to step into our higher fifth dimensional frequencies, and that we will be able to do that which we know has been promised to us despite and because of what is happening here on planet Earth. All of us, everyone here, all of you, are here because we volunteered to be here. We chose to be here. We chose to be here in these seemingly difficult times where our heart breaks for the homeless on the street, as the street angel said, and our hearts hurt for the pain that we might see or the unkindness or the chaos that might look like in the field around us. But understand that this has been foretold, these prophecies, that the time would come, which is now, where each of you would wake up and begin to remember why you are here, because these are the times for which we have been called. And so, in the midst of what looks like the great pandemic and the greatest unrest and unraveling of our civilization, is when we have been asked to do the best that we can, to be the angelic presence, that fifth dimensional being, to be the one that can hold steady in times of unbalance. And so it's a pleasure to help each and every one of you remember who you are, to remember how powerful you are, to remember that when you came down here, it's like you had a clipboard, okay? And the clipboard said kindness, it said compassion, it said, oh, you're an intuitive. Aha! Oh my God, you know how to listen to people. And so you came down here with a whole list of your skills and talents and superpowers that Tanjila mentions. And so when we awaken to that and we know that we just didn't randomly get here, it's not like we volunteered, raised our hand, and they said, of course, all volunteers are accepted. That's actually not the way it happens, friends. You were accepted into this immense leadership program of angelic awakening into fifth dimensional consciousness to be part of the ascension because your guides knew that you had everything you needed to step into this mastery and to become that leader and that being that you in your heart know that you are. So when we say these are the times for which we're called, and that to be one of the chosen ones, you must say yes. You must choose and say yes. And so much of my own awakening has come because I chose to say yes. And I discovered that when I said no, the door shut. And I kind of went down a path like this. But when I was able to tune in, even to that silent whisper, because my angels, they're not like they're shouting at me. It's a silent, loving whisper. And it's like, Joan, should you choose to accept this mission and this calling? And I say that to you. Do you choose to accept your mission and your calling, that you're here for a reason? And part of that reason is to hold steady with the light. Part of that reason is to become, as Asil calls, a pillar of light, a temple, a power of light that is so strong that when you walk in a room, people feel it. They may say, I don't know what struck me, but I feel this powerful energy. I feel vibrant all of a sudden. I feel like I can do more than I even knew I can. And that's one of my missions, to help you believe in the impossible, or in the seemingly impossible, or in the miraculous. Because everything that we're engaged to do is kind of miraculous. It's out of the ordinary. The synchronicities that I know many of you experience on a daily basis when you say yes are not normal in normal people's lives, but they're normal to us because we've raised our vibration to catch that frequency. And it's like a wave. I call it the miracle wave. What's the miracle wave? When we catch it, it's when the result of the miracle wave, when we catch it, is that things are synchronistic and things go our way, and we get to a higher level energetically, and our vibration shifts, and magic begins to happen. And when that happens, it's like, the surfer, swim, paddle. All of you have been doing a lot of work to get to this moment, to get on this Zoom chat, to raise your own spirits to be here now. So we paddle, but then when we catch it, Spirit opens the doors. And so I want to encourage you to say yes. When you get that call, so in 2013, in one of what I might say was the worst periods of my life, I came back to LA, I was destitute, I was in despair, didn't know what I was going to do. And I had already written books on miracles, so it's quite shocking to me to be in this situation. And I just asked, what am I supposed to do? And I heard a voice said, well, paint 33 angels in 30 days. Guys, this was not the answer I wanted to hear. I wanted my angels or guides to just shower me with like advice I could do right now that would change my life. So I kind of hesitated. And they said it again, paint 33 angels in 30 days. But I wasn't ready to give it up. It sounded like a lot of work, right? I mean, I know some of you get messages and ignore them. And this is for all of us, because years later, about 3 years later, I heard a boy, I went and had a reading with this palm reader. And he said, Joan, did you know you were supposed to be famous a while ago, but you blew it? You didn't say yes when your time arrived. So I want to prime you all to start to listen to that voice. So my guides are very clear with me. If on the third time I say no, they pass me by and they go on to the next person. So I knew this. And on the third time, I just said, yes, okay, yes. And what happened for me was the most outrageous transformation in my life. I never expected to ultimately be named Joan of Angels. I never expected to actually feel the presence of angels, even though I had heard messages all my life. I didn't understand the big picture. So the keys for me in connecting with the guides is to first hear that little voice inside, and it comes as a whisper. But when you say yes to that whisper, they give you more. And they give you the next step. So I said, well, what am I going to do with 33 oil paintings that are stinking up this house? And they said, well, put them on the wall and you'll see. So I put them on the wall. And what happens is the book that I hadn't even read, that I've been carrying for years on angels, fell off my bookshelf. It says, your call for angelic assistance has been heard. And then what happens next? A day or two later, book falls off that says to be one of the chosen ones, you must choose. And if I say anything tonight, I think it's that we have to choose. Are we choosing to live a higher path? Are we choosing to be a fifth dimensional frequency being and raise our third dimensional body to match it? To not go down, but to raise ourselves up, to look at what is going on for us from a higher perspective. So I've been gifted with the ability sometimes to hear and see and channel artwork or images of the divine. And it is a special privilege to call myself a paintbrush of the divine. And I can't always tell you when it happens. So recently, Vivian, Peter's beloved, I just got this hit. I have to create this art for Vivian. And it came through me like a whoosh, because I know Peter understands that. It came through me as a whoosh. And for like 3 or 4 hours, I was like orgasmic. That's the only word to say. I couldn't stop. I couldn't even think until it was complete. And so in the process of saying yes, the divine comes through you and you channel that energy. And what you produce is more than human. It's more than our 3D experience. And so my job in this work as a paintbrush is to paint the images that Spirit wants you to see. The images that might represent who you are on the spirit level. And when we see those images of who we are on a spirit level, then we know that we're always constantly reminded of who we really are. Because in our human experience, it's easy to forget. Look, I'm here with my sister and my family, and they actually always want to let me know when I'm not in my divine self. And so we learn to how to be the best self that we can be, and that is a guideline for connecting to the divine. So does that kind of answer your question, Tanjila?
Yes, definitely. Thank you, Joan, for sharing all of this and sharing your story as well, because it's very powerful for people to know how you became Joan of Angels, and it was by listening.
Well, it was by listening and saying yes. Now that was huge, saying yes. And I question my voices all the time. I think I tell this story often. One day I heard this voice, don't put your tax returns in the trunk, they'll blow away. Well, I thought the voice was crazy. I said, you're crazy. Why? And they said, your trunk's going to open, they'll blow away. I said, that's even crazier. And I didn't even listen. And guys, someone in LA has my daughter's tax returns to this day. They called me 3 days after it happened because, yes, it happened. So I have learned painfully to listen.
And Joan, we have a question coming in from Laura. She's asking, do you actually see the angels? Do they really appear with feathers, or are they more like energy, like flames of light? Also,
oh my God.
Also, so many people, including myself, are hearing soft, high-pitched noises on and off. I've wondered if it could be a harbinger of angels approaching or possibly our deceased loved ones coming to visit. What do you think?
Whoa, that's a big question. Okay, so I've seen angels in very many different ways. Okay, I have seen angels with wings, but I remember the first time I clearly saw an angel was in Damanhur. It was Metatron, and Metatron was about 100 feet tall and did not have wings. And I went home and I painted Metatron, this was years ago, and a friend of mine came up and said, Joan, it doesn't have wings. What's wrong with you? All angels. So I kind of tried to put wings in there for her, but many angelic beings are pure energy source. The higher in frequency they go, that you are, the higher those are. But you know what? There's something about wings. Beings have had wings. When we know that when we look at the Dead Sea Scrolls and we read, we see that angels walked with humans, angels with wings, extraterrestrial beings with wings also. So I feel that many of us have wings. I see them on people when they raise them. And when we do that process in my workshops and you feel your wings, it's a very powerful presence. And it's a psychological one too. Because when you know, and all you have to do, even if you don't feel them, but to practice, because when you walk out in a world like this, you can't be pushed around so much. people feel your presence, and there's an authority that comes with you. And so I encourage all of you to practice. Now, that high-pitched sound I have been hearing a lot of recently, mostly in my left ear, but sometimes in my right. I heard it twice today, and I just started to really pay attention to it. I do believe it represents the angelic and the divine realms here to talk to us. So pay attention. You're getting a download, even if it's not in English.
Great. Thank you, Joan. Thank you for supporting us in saying yes and listening and hearing the messages that come through, because that's the first step.
Because they're always talking to us, Tanjila. We're the ones too busy to slow down and listen. So, hi, Scott. It's always nice to see you again.
And I've known Joan for a very long time. We first met, 25 years ago, I think it was? You were 16 at the time.
Oh, yeah, I was 16. Yes, I was just 7. Wait, whatever that song was.
I do want to remind people that Joan has a beautiful gift. If you go to her website, which is her name, joanofangels.com, she's offering the 5-minute guide to fulfilling your true calling. So definitely make sure you put in your name, which I'm going to model for us right there, and your email address. And Joan, just tell us a little bit about this free gift.
Well, I teach people about stepping into your mission, your soul purpose, what you're here to do. And it's one of the most important things that we can really understand, because when we know who we are and why we're here, we can leap out of bed, like ready to face the day, leap over tall buildings in a single bound, and really be Wonder Woman or Superman, or you have those superpowers because you know why you're here. And that knowingness gives you that extra, it doesn't matter if it's a gray day, you inside are turned on by the passion of your mission. And so that book starts the process of the passion of your mission.
Beautiful. Well, a big encouraging go to joanofangels.com. She is going to help us all how to embody our true selves. She's an amazing woman. And you can also find her on SoulSearch. You can find almost everybody that's amazing these days on SoulSearch. That's why we all want to join it. Again, if you just go to soulsearch.io, soulsearch.io, and then you can find Joan of Angels there. You can find all the people that are on tonight's show that came through Tanjila through going to SoulSearch, and also all about the upcoming psychic fairs. Joan, stick around. We're going to start our panel conversation in just about 10 minutes, but we have one more very, very special guest. And it's most appropriate for Tanjila to introduce Charlie because she has a very special relationship with him. Tell us about Charlie.
Sure. So I am very pleased to introduce Charlie Lamson. He is, a I can't even remember, sacred fire alchemist, and specializes in angelic healing, intuitive counseling, self-mastery coaching, and really powerfully brings through the angelic and ascended hosts, your galactic family, all of the masters, guides, to really work with you to transmute any limiting energies that you've carried into this lifetime through your family and ancestral lineage, through past lifetimes. And he works with you to transmute these limiting energies into ascension frequencies for your expansion and spiritual transformation. And Charlie has gone through a lot of his own personal trials and tribulations and work to really connect powerfully with all of the angels, guides, and masters. And they really do work with him and the elementals from the elemental realms. And, as I know very well, they work with him in every moment and every day. And he really powerfully works with them to bring back this ancient sacred fire alchemy to really support the ascension process that we're all in today. So, I'm excited to welcome Charlie. He very much works with all of the guides, saints, and masters, but of course the angelics are a big part of who you are, Charlie, and all the work that you do. So welcome, and feel free to share what you feel is coming through for everyone today.
Well, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Tanjila and Scott, everybody on the show. It's great to be here. Yes, my story is probably not much different than anybody else's that came into their power. I love how Joan touches on saying yes. I think there was a long time I didn't realize I was even being asked the questions to wake up, and it kept getting denser and denser and heavier until basically in that in-between state, Michael and El Moria were standing at my side while I was beat up on some other plane saying, are you done yet? As us telling me to get up. What are you resurrecting? And it drew me to ask the questions even on that plane. Well, what am I doing here? What is this? And then all of a sudden, as soon as I opened my consciousness, even though it wasn't even on the physical plane, all of a sudden a lot of answers began coming, and it opened the door to a lot of memories of different things. And then the saints came to me, like Saint Germain and Jesus, and they started having me use the violet flame. And it brought to me a lot of information about what this has been doing over the last 100 years on Earth. And now it's very accessible as a tool for anybody. And it's okay to project the violet flame through anybody. And this has been transformative in my life. It pulled me out of addictions and out of many different things, financial problems. And I began acknowledging and experiencing the angels all around me. And the more I acknowledged them and talked to them as like friends instead of like deities, it just became more and more and more powerful. And then I just keep saying yes, and I don't even know what I'm saying yes to in my physical body, but every time I'm in my dreams, I know that like other groups of, we call them angelic orders or goddess orders, are coming to me in the nighttime, in our sleep, and laying out some plans that are going to unfold on the earth. Do you want to be a part of this? And I always keep saying yes. And then I wake up wondering, what did I just say yes to? And it just keeps, it keeps unfolding, and everything keeps changing. But the more that you just acknowledge your angels, and you don't need to micromanage them, and everybody has them. Okay, everybody embodies the entire universe, whether they're Elohim, gods, goddesses, angels, elementals, it is all you. Okay, you have your own creation. This is why it's such a coveted place for souls to be, is you're learning how to master dominion over reality. And this is what begins happening the more you acknowledge it. And right now, humanity is at this phase of really coming out of judgment. All right. And know that you have the power when you see a piece of litter on the ground, with purity of heart and not thinking of it as litter and as actually a living being. That soda can is a group of elemental beings pretending to be a soda can, and you just give them permission to be, you don't need to be that anymore. And then you throw it in the garbage, and then you watch. You can go inside a store and come out and see there'll be like 10 people out there picking up garbage because you set this purifying energy into motion. All right, we have this power that we've never had to do like hard toiling. It's all been within us this whole time. Everything that's negative that is reflected to us is just asking us for permission to be healed or changed, because they don't want to be pollution anymore. They don't want to be litter anymore. They want to be, fairies. They want to be stardust. They want to be all these beautiful things that everybody can honor and appreciate. And we have that power. That's with the elementals and the Devic angels. The archangels have been very powerful in my life in the healing that I do. It's the sacred fire comes through. It's like, we're all a transformer of this energy as well. The Elohim and the Eloah are always holding like the vision. They hold that like light of the Father presence that is anchoring the vision of the new earth into the consciousness grids, while the archangels in the angelic realm are transmuting all the negative energy and trying to heal the land, heal the trees, all these different things. But they're doing it through us. And it is important for us to be feet on the ground and come into this awareness. It is more powerful than you know that for us to be on the ground right now. All right. And like Asil was saying, we go to these places to elevate the consciousness, and we can do it even by ourselves. I mean, it helps to have a group of people around you, but we're lifting up consciousness in very dense places, just like we're lifting up a circus tent. We are these pillars or poles that are propping up, and then it gives people like that have been stuck under that big circus tent, all of a sudden they can see light and they can breathe. And this is happening organically. All right. It's important to not get frustrated when other people don't listen to us. They simply are not allowed to see it yet. All right. We're the ones kind of clearing the way, doing this heavy lifting. And many of you here are not just from the earth plane. Okay. I see your ancestors with you. I see that you are not just angels of the earth. You're angels of very many places. And it's why, like you, the street angel, you feel these things because it's like you've done this before. I see you as an angel in the Pleiadian planets as well. This is also part of who you are, and know that your family is with you always. Your star family is overlighting you. You're doing a lot of work in your nighttime that you aren't quite aware of, but you will start becoming into awareness of what you've been doing. A lot of this heavy lifting that you've been doing and that you feel in your physical body is of the astral plane. You've been doing a lot of clearing with other, galactic angels, but also Michael, okay? And a lot of his angels on this plane. So feel the victory growing up in you when you feel like you're having this pressure put on you, or you feel like these things are happening to you. You're a mighty warrior. Like you're like a warrior princess angel. Okay, just know that this is a power that you can overcome, and you will overcome. All right, it's already written. So know this. Okay, all of you are so powerful, and you just are starting to come out of amnesia. But just like somebody that gets amnesia from a car accident but learned how to read when they were a child, you may not know what your name is or where you live or who your family is, but while you await your recovery in the hospital, you can still open a book and read. It is in you. It's written in your consciousness, and all of your gifts and the wisdom you have to connect with your angels, to connect with reality itself, is already there. Okay, the more you put your attention on your angels and on the unseen, the more reality itself will talk to you through the synchronicities, through everything. And the more you begin looking at it, the more it speaks to you. And it's very powerful. It's and it's real. Your angels are waiting to prove themselves to you. And just like you have to tell your hand to pick up a book, you must tell your angelic energy to come out and do its work. Except it's extremely intelligent and divine, and you don't necessarily need to micromanage it. But know that everything can be guided and directed by the angelic realm, who are eager to help you in everything from your finances to a parking spot. Everything you can put them to the test, and they can't wait. Awesome.
Thanks, Charlie. And we have a question coming in from Dorina. She said, can you expand more on the difference between angels and archangels in their roles and in your own experiences with them?
Well, the archangels are like leaders of many different rays. We hear about the 7 rays or the 12 rays, but in our universe, there are many combinations of rays, many archangels, and it is almost like a level of attainment. Okay, there is an hierarchy, of the angelic realms, but not like dictatorship like we have in politics or something like this. It's like a level of attainment and mastery, and then each angel has infinite, as many angels as required underneath them, and then it's like a never-ending cycle. But you are also connected, but you embody every part of the universe within this physical body. Okay, so you embody every archangel of the universe, you embody the great central sun, the sun, you embody all these energies, including the Elohim, the Eloah. All right, so when you begin comprehending these things, it's like it begins alchemizing all the discrepancies that were not truth within your physical garment. Does that make sense?
I think you've described the hierarchy and, explained all of these energies for us and opened us up to, really connecting with our higher realms. And I think this is something that you've actually taught me, is to really be aware of our angelic guides around us, because when we are aware and we acknowledge them and we call to them, that's when they can really come and provide us the support that we need. And at the same time, they're never outside of us. They're always within us. And that is the ultimate power of who we are. So thank you for bringing us back into connecting again with our true source self, Charlie, and really connecting all of us together as we talk about the angels, because, this show is all about the angelic forces, but those forces are truly within us, and none of this is outside of us or outside of who we are and what we do and what we're here to do on this planet.
And everyone, how do we find Charlie? We go to SoulSearch is how we find Charlie. Once again, and his name is Charlie Lamson, the Angelic Sacred Fire Alchemy, and that's the place to go. Charlie, are you offering any psychic readings? Can people book sessions with you?
Yes, people can do readings. My office is at the Center of the New Age in Sedona. So many of my clients are from all over the world that come here that I keep up with. We do Zoom sessions. And the healing, we can do a lot of healing remote. I do just as much healing as readings, but it just keeps getting stronger and stronger as we move forward in time. And I know, like Asil, I know these other, and Joan, you're starting to feel it, right? It's like you can feel this like harmony beginning to happen within us, and it's there's much more powerful messages coming through, empowering too. It's powerful and empowering.
Beautiful. Well, as you're calling upon them, I'm actually going to go ahead. Here's Joan. Here's Mandy, the street angel. Here is, I almost brought Kristen Hoffman on. Here, where are our other angels? There's Asil, because we are now in our kind of concluding time where we're going to, here's Vox to
And Peter.
And Peter, and there's Peter, to ask your favorite angel. And there is actually, right off the bat, a question from Dorina, which is, I saw it here a moment ago, and everybody put your questions in so that we can ask them. Dorina asks, thank you for your wonderful shares. Can you expand more on the difference between angels and archangels and their roles, as well as any of your own personal experiences with them? Of course, with these questions, you don't all have to answer, but does anybody want to tackle that one? Who wants to differentiate between angels and archangels and your role?
Well, Scott, I had actually asked the question and Charlie had answered, but happy to take anyone else's thoughts, thoughts on angels and archangels.
Like the archangel, am I on? Archangels are like they step down energy. Okay, like the archangels take the energy from the great central sun and step it down through the sun so that it's like, so we don't, fry, it's very powerful energy. And then the angels are like, step it down more. And this is what are actually part of us, from the way I'm shown it is, we are like transformers, okay? And the angels are doing the same thing. They're manipulating energy, transmutic energies. Energy doesn't ever die. It doesn't ever go. It just is always changing. So the angels kind of hold a balance, under the direction of the archangels.
Beautiful, thank you. Amaya is asking, can you define the role of our guardian angels? So, let's just expand that out a little bit. How do guardian angels work? How many do we all have? Do they, tell us who can share a little bit more about how the whole guardian angel thing works? Who wants to tackle that? I guess they're calling on people if you guys are all real shy. Vox, what are your thoughts about? But you just muted yourself. Vox, you just muted yourself.
All right, here I am. Okay. Well, from my tradition and understanding, I can speak of like the holy guardian angel because everyone has a holy guardian angel. And so my understanding, what the angels have told me is that we receive a holy guardian angel when we are born into physical form. And that angel is with us, helping to guide us and so forth throughout our entire lifespan. And then is there to help us transition as we transition out of physical form. And so that's what I would say about that. When people speak of guardian angels, I always think directly of the holy guardian angel and then the other angels that are there to help and assist on different things throughout our lives. I mean, there's angels that have specialties and so forth. There's angels that kind of come in to assist you with different things in your life. And so, yeah, that's about all I have to say.
Thank you. I want to add kind of another wrinkle and get anybody else's perspective. When I've tuned in, I've had several direct experiences that my grandfather, whom I never met, he passed away when my mother was 9, has been a guide. Maybe it's a guardian angel or a guide, my grandfather Cyrus. And so I'd love to hear any of your thoughts about ancestors who become either guides or guardian angels. Do any of you have anything to say about that? Yes, Vox.
You mentioned that, and right, it had popped into my head because I'm a seer and medium as well. And I remember that my grandmother had popped in I was at some type of little psychic spiritual event. My grandmother popped in. And she had said at that time, I said, well, I don't know, I asked why she was there or something, I can't remember. But she said, well, I am here as your guardian, of course. And she said when she transitioned, she had been assigned to be like my guardian, which I kind of think of as a guardian angel as well. And so she was with me for quite some time in that capacity. And so I do know that at times I have had ancestors and so forth that have also come forward more in kind of a guardian and a guide, because they came in when there were specific circumstances in my life or challenges when I was moving through a process. And they were kind of there to help me bridge from point A to point B. And so they've come in at different times in my life. And they have stated that they are guardians as well, and they operate in that capacity for a period of time.
Thank you. Does anybody else want to jump in with a thought about guardian angels or our ancestors? Charlie.
So the way it's also been shown to me is like the guardian angels, in which now I think just because we're in this special time, we have more than one guardian angel. It used to be for a long time, we'd have a guardian and then a primary guide. But the guardians is just like the fairy's job is to keep negative energy away from flowers and things like this. Our guardian is basically just watching out for energy and letting only the stuff come in that is for our lessons that we'll create in our life, while our guides are the whisper in our ear. They're the ones guiding you. And many times this is your ancestors. A lot of it, because your ancestors, you're usually part of the same soul or the same soul group, your soul family, especially with like your grandparents. It's very powerful. And you have to remember that when we go outside, when we go in between, when we cross out or transition out of our life, we're kind of outside of time. So like our ancestors can decide, I want to be a guide, I want to go help or something like this. And they'll be trained. And it might seem like it's right after they cross, they're one of your guides, but they may have gone and trained what would seem like years to come back and be like an official guide for you. And a lot of times it switches roles, that when you're transition, you'll be their guide. You know, a lot of the times it works like this.
Beautiful. Thank you for that.
Scott, I have a question for the group as well, just because, you know, we've been bringing through the energies, the angelic energies and the Elohim. And I just wanted to hear from our group, what is the role of the angelic during this ascension time? Why are they here? Are they here supporting us? What is their role? What are they here to do? And how are they supporting us in the ascension and also in our own personal individual alignment?
Looks like Mandy has her hand up.
Really just here to serve. I mean, I think that's our purpose in either embodiment or not. You know, it's just God's purpose for us, and everybody's unique and different. Each angel has a different mission. You know, Peter makes necklaces and energy tools, and Vox has the channeling voice. I mean, everything. Kalina, the healing energies that come through her and her different, I can't even explain what comes out of her mouth, language of light and stuff. So everybody's got their own gifts to share. And so, but you know, the basic foundation is we're just here to serve, and it's not going to resonate with everybody, but maybe some people will resonate more with other angelic beings who have a different look or embodiment or purpose or talent that they're sharing, and they might be drawn to that. But you know, we're just here to help people in their growth and involvement. Sometimes protection. I mean, sometimes you see people called to action to be a hero and save people, like for real, you know. So it just depends on our position and our moment in time and our gifts that we're each uniquely given to share.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Mandy. That resonates. Anybody else want to comment on that? Just jump in.
Yeah, I feel that the angels are here to encourage us in nuanced ways, try to get your attention, and help you bring out the gifts that you're here to bring. You know, everybody has their gifts to whatever end it might be. You know, for all of us, they are a different gift, which is an amazing thing to begin with. So I just feel that they're here to encourage us and make sure that we kind of stay on the right path and help us understand our own voice.
Beautiful. Thank you, Peter. I want to read a couple of the comments coming in from our audience. Ayada writes, "This has been such a wonderful evening. How good it feels to be having this ordinary, extraordinary conversation about these profound energies and experiences. I'm so appreciative of every one of you, our wonderful guests, and all that you have so personally shared tonight. Thank you so much." And you know, there's something that Ayada brings up. The more that we have these conversations, the more that what used to be seen as extraordinary or even way out there or far out actually becomes our daily life and becomes the reality that we're creating. And that's a big part of my goal for the awakening world, is that it's the 100th monkey theory, really. The more that we believe that we are awakening, the more we surround ourselves with people that are committed to awakening, the people that Tanjila brings in, the people you meet on Global Peace Tribe shows, the more that it happens, the more it becomes a reality. And, you know, in quantum physics, we learned that there's all these different timelines. And I think we're all collectively choosing a timeline of rainbows and unicorns and a very positive future. That's, I think, the timeline that those of us attracted to the show and to SoulSearch and to the people that you see here that we're all creating.
And Scott, I wanted to bring in a question from Pam. She's saying, I appreciate the message about the still, quiet voice that can be our guides or angels guiding us. Along with meditation, Are there practices or things we can do to make ourselves more able to hear that guidance? I want to hear and say yes. So I'd love to hear from some of our panelists on what are some of the practices that we can do to make ourselves more able to hear the guidance coming through.
Asil, since you lead meditation, would you be willing to tackle that?
Sure. Yeah, first of all, there's a lot of different tools that people have and have developed over thousands of years to come to a state of an expanded consciousness through which we can access other frequencies. Imagine you as a human being are like a radio, and there is many stations you can tune into, and some stations are hard to tune into because they're of high frequency. So what do we have to do if we are a radio that needs to be tuned? First of all, we need to clear all the stuff that is creating all the white noise in the different channels. So that's the mind, that's the heart, like all the emotions that are not cleaned up. There's like relationships that are not cleaned up, the past, the physical body. So there's a lot of ways to clear first. And ways to clear are dieting, fasting, sleeping enough, exercising, eating well, breath work, yoga, you name it. You guys know all the things, right? It just comes down to, do we have the discipline to do these cleaning exercises for ourselves? And when we do, you start to see that your meditations get deeper, or even spontaneously, you might tune into something that is communicating with you. And that refinement of attuning to higher frequencies allows and opens doorways for us to receive communication and for us to be able to communicate back and forth. And that to me is the ultimate practice. Another piece that's been a game changer for me has been going into nature, especially powerful nature spots. And you know the powerful nature spots because everyone in your neighborhood, everyone in your country, there are always myths, folklore, legends, and known wisdom about special places in your environment. Go there, meditate there, and see what happens. There's always a clearing that happens, an opening, a new realization. That's why I believe sacred sites don't have to be just the pyramids in Egypt. Sacred sites are in your backyard, It could be the oldest tree of the region that is only like 20 minutes away. Or it could be the highest peak in your area that you get to and maybe hike to and maybe sit on top of a really beautiful rock and you just feel what the earth feels like. And that'll open doorways, guaranteed.
It's beautiful. Thank you for that. Thank you.
Thanks, Asil. Amazing. Yes, we have so many tools available for us to open us up to all of these messages coming through in every moment from our guides and our angels. And so, Asil, I wanted to ask you, what do you feel is, the role of the Elohim and the angelics in this time of ascension and in our alignment?
What I'm being told and what I understand is that because we are going through this, let me just back up for a second. Imagine consciousness is seeded in different places across the universe by massive forces and creator beings. Humanity is one of those pieces of seeding and evolution. And humanity is coming to a place of maturation. And there is this observation that they're having, and they see, okay, this one is ready to be birthed into a new stage of being, into a new plane of existence. It's like a giant birthing process with enormous doulas supporting this birthing process. But they're saying, we're not going to just do it for you. You have to be the ones actually breaking through the eggshell that you are in. It's like you can't help the chick come out of the egg, right? It has to come out itself. So we are in this incubation phase and state. And the Elohim, as well as other higher forms of consciousness are in direct assistance through this maturation and expansion process, this birthing process. And how does the birthing happen? It happens from within. And that's what they're directing us to. They're saying, okay, we'll give you a couple of hints. We'll provide energy for you to feel what it feels like to be empowered, to be expanded, and to really feel how much power you've been given, that you are actually creator beings. And for us to come to that realization is our birthing process, is our ascension process.
Powerful. So we are so supported in this work right now.
Truly.
And Joan, do you have anything to add to this discussion here with, all of the angelic support that we're getting during this time?
Well, these are the times which have been foretold. This is really a big time in the history of our planet. It's a big time in stepping onto the ascension path and into. And so angelic, the celestial realms are here big time to support us in that, as are also the galactic family. So all of the beings that are on the side of the light are really coming forward because they know that this is a big push. It's not written in stone. It's a big push, and we're all coming together, raising our frequency. And that is another reason why they're here. And part of the reason also is that the more light there is on the planet, the less room there is for the dark. And that's when the dark portals close and the dark can't survive in the light. So if we see the planet populated with 8 billion beings of light, then we've already changed the frequency here.
Yes, that's what we're all here doing together, is shifting the frequency in this evolution into oneness. So very exciting to be here with everyone today to really just, celebrate and, celebrate all of the multidimensional support that we have in this process that we're all going through together. It's amazing. And, in our remembrance and celebration of this support, we're just amplifying it for everything and everyone around us. So Scott, thank you for supporting this.
Absolutely. We're going to go to Omashar for a closing song in a moment. But I just want to encourage everybody to remember to be your own earth angel. Both ways. Open yourself to receive that guidance. We've heard amazing stories from Peter and Joan and really everyone, how they, by listening to their guidance, their lives have changed in amazing ways. And also be an earth angel, just like Mandy demonstrates, acts of kindness. Who might be lonely in your life that could use a phone call? Smile more when you're out in the world. See who might be needing a little extra love, a little extra connection. Let's all play our role in being earth angels while opening up to the guidance and support from our big angels and our big guides. And we're now going to go to Angel Omashar to close us out with a Omashar song.
With a song. Goodness me, the more we talk and imbibe this wisdom, the less words I have to speak whatsoever. I just get quieter and quieter and quieter and quieter. And I have so appreciated the eloquence of all of our guests tonight. Holy smoke, I leave this Zoom call a greater person. And so with that, let's go here. And let's go here. I sit and wait. Does an angel contemplate my fate? Do they know the places where we go when we're old and gray? 'Cause I have been told that salvation lets their wings unfold. my bed, thoughts running through my head, and I feel that love is dead. I'm loving angels instead. And through it all, she offers me protection, a lot of love and affection, whether I'm right or wrong. And down the waterfall, wherever it may take me, I know that life will break me when I come to call. She won't forsake me. I'm loving angels instead. When I'm feeling weak and my pain walks down a one-way street, I look above and I know I'll always be blessed with love. And as the feeling grows, she breathes flesh to my bones. And when love is dead, I'm loving angels instead. And through it all, she offers me protection, a lot of love and affection, whether I'm right or wrong. And down the waterfall, wherever it may take me, I know that life will break me when I come to call. She won't forsake me. I'm loving angels instead. Protection, a lot of love and affection, whether I'm right or wrong. And down the waterfall, wherever it may take me, I know that life won't break me when I come to call. She won't forsake me. I'm loving angels instead. Down the waterfall, wherever it may take me, I know that life won't break me when I come to call. She won't forsake me. I'm loving angels instead.
Oh, beautiful. Don't twinkle, Omashar.
I didn't want to stop the song. It felt so good to play it.
Oh my God, I'm so glad you did it. It was great that you
I
could.
was thinking, okay, where do I go next? I'm not too sure. It's an
Hey,
awesome
I
song.
want to acknowledge our little animal angels, right?
Yes.
Those come in many forms, and I want to acknowledge all of our dogs and our cats and our birds and our rodents and our animals that help us to remember, love, and play. Well, once again, thank you, Omashar. Thank you, Tanjila.
Thank you,
Tanjila,
Scott.
we'll be back in 2 weeks. We've got
Yes,
a
we'll be back in 2 weeks to embody our divine superpowers.
This is going to be amazing. And bring up all of our guests one more time. There's Mandy, there's Charlie, where's Joan?
Is up?
There she is. And then let's find Asil. Asil is still with us. Oh, there's
Yes.
Vox. There we go. So thank you, everybody, for a wonderful, wonderful show.
Yes, thank you all for joining and sharing. It's just been such a beautiful experience for all of us. And of course, thank you to all of our seen and unseen guides and friends that are with us as well.
It's very crowded here
I know, right?
in the back room.
It
Hey,
is.
and also
Green
a
room.
reminder to join Omashar and I, and hopefully all of you, for tomorrow morning, our Sacred Sunday show. And you're going to get a chance to meet a lot of new people that have not been on the Awakening World before. People from different cultures, even different countries, learning all about the power of mentorship. I really want to expand our Awakening World audience. And so tomorrow, please come and join us as, of course, Omashar is going to have wonderful musical numbers for us. And we're going to meet some really beautiful and amazing people doing great work in the world. People working in Pakistan, Palestine, the Middle East, India. It's going to be a beautiful show. So please do join us. Thank you, everybody, again. I'm going to go to gallery view one last time. So wave goodbye and say thank you. And hopefully we'll see all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
May you all see angels tonight.
Good night, everybody.